there. Glad to have you join us on this week's edition of Health Options. I am Rabi Abdullah. Overweight and obesity are defined as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that presents a risk to health. The World Health Assembly proposed a set of recommendations for governments and other stakeholders aimed at reversing the rising trend of children and adolescents becoming overweight and obese by tackling the environment and norms, including access and promotion or unhealthy foods and lack of opportunities for physical activity that encourage obesity. This edition of Health Options is, in the light of this, taking a look at obesity said to be a predisposing factor to most of the non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. Nature's Corner, and of course, valuable health tips on how to prevent and deal with obesity. So, stay tuned in order not to miss out on all that we have lined up for your health benefits. And our discussion segment today is obesity, in view of it being a major predisposing factor to non-communicable diseases. And with me in the studio to discuss the issue is Professor Felicia Anuma. She is a professor of endocrinology at the University of Abuja. Welcome to Health Options, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Okay, a very topical issue, I must say, obesity. I know it to be a global problem, but what's the gravity in this part of the world? Or do we have a peculiarity? Is it the same trend that we're recording?
Thank you very much. You are right that obesity has become a big problem all over the world, including developing countries like Nigeria. What is obesity, first of all? It's when we accumulate excess weight. Because I always make a statement that God is a perfect scientist. For every height, there's an ideal weight. Now, when we allow our weight to go beyond what that height is meant to carry, then we have problem. Overweight comes, or obesity comes. You know, with civilization, particularly in developing countries, we began to adopt the westernized lifestyle. We changed our diet from the healthy African diet or healthy Nigerian diet to the westernized diet, and so we began to acquire all the diseases of civilization. Obesity is one, and diabetes, hypertension, and so on.
So let's take a more critical look at the Nigerian situation. What is, really fueling this health condition amongst us as Nigerians? Is there something that we're really doing, that is, synonymous with Nigerians, maybe Africans, that, makes it a bigger problem, so to say?
Now, it's important to note that in the US, about 25% of the population are obese, and because of the consequences of obesity, obesity has been classified as a disease state, like diabetes, like hypertension, like heart disease, and so on. So obesity is a disease on its own, all right?
Yes.
Now, in Nigeria, how did we get here? Well, like I said, since we got civilized, we acquired the westernized lifestyle. We changed our diet completely, and we became less physically active, because for us to maintain metabolic balance and maintain health in any individual, we need to burn whatever amount of calorie we take in each day. Then we can maintain balance and maintain health. But what we have done is that we take more calories in and we are less active, we burn less, so we have an imbalance. That's why, in simple terms, I will say obesity or overweight comes when the input is more than the expenditure. Simple economics. So when you take in more than you are expending each day, there is an imbalance. And that imbalance settles as fat, which leads now to overweight or obesity. In Nigeria, you and I know that we became external people rather than internal people. Before, we preferred homemade foods. That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
Even when children are going to school, we prepare something and give the child to go to school with. But what we have done now is that we have become more external people as far as food is concerned. We prefer now to go to, the various eateries, the various shopping malls where we get these foods that unfortunately, they are high in sugar, they are high in salt, they are high in bad fat, and they are poor in micronutrients that are useful, as proper nutrition to the body, and they are high in calorie. So when we consume these things, they appear exciting, they are fast. We love convenience in Nigeria, and we have extended it to everything. So we love what we call convenience foods.
Let's look at the social factor now when it has to do with perception. I know that it seems that
yes.
in this part of the world, the bigger you are, I don't know, there's just a wrong...
in Nigeria, there are some cultural beliefs or perceptions that we have that I'm always saying we need to wash our brains off. We need a serious reorientation. Like what you are doing now is to reorientate people, is to bring people's attention to this issue of, getting excess weight and getting obese. We have some beliefs. They are cultural. One of them is that we have a lot of respect for people with weight. Weight commands respect in our environment, in our society. Weight indicates or shows that this person is affluent.
Does it show or is perceived?
Well,
it's a perception.
Okay, it's a perception, but it's almost like evidence. That's because it is there inside our skull. All right? So this person has arrived. This person is enjoying life. Is an evidence. We used to say having a pot belly is evidence of good living. All right? And people don't like being put down. People like to be respected by others wherever they go. And if it is when I'm big that I am respected, then I want that weight. So that wherever I go, I am not put down, I am respected. Now, even for females, when we get married, for example, usually most females are slim before they get married. But after getting married and having children, excess weight comes. Now, why? Because the woman needs to demonstrate that the husband is capable of taking care of a wife. So she has to put on, some weight and look big. Then when they see, they go home to the village and all that, say, yes, this man, is taking. And the woman also has to show that she's capable of taking care of the man anyway. So the man too has to add some weight, begin to grow pot belly, and then everybody is happy. We have these things in our skull. And even children. You find out that, children get, when somebody delivers a baby and the baby is big, they say, oh, this baby is beautiful, this baby is chubby, is big. Everybody likes the baby. You see a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old that is fat. Everybody likes that baby. But unfortunately, medically speaking, weight has no single advantage of any sort. Instead, it's a source of all manner of diseases and premature death.
Well, there's a disturbing trend among adolescents. You see a child of, let's say, 10 years, Looking like a 20-year-old. What danger does such portend when you look at the crop of generation that is being bred?
It's a very big problem in our society right now. I did some work in 20 secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory here on prevention of lifestyle diseases, including obesity, diabetes, hypertension. And I looked at 3,000 secondary school children from GS1 to SS3. And the rate of overweight that we found is about 34%. 34% of these 3,000 children in the secondary schools in the FCT are overweight. And about 15% have obesity. Now, amongst these children, we diagnose those people with diabetes that didn't know. We also made diagnosis of hypertension amongst these children that didn't know. The problem is this, that the present generation of overweight and obese children, they are the next generation of people with diabetes, with hypertension, with heart disease, and even with cancer, because 20 to 25% of cases of cancer is due to obesity.
Wow. So I know you're into some sort of collaboration with government in this regard by virtue of your expertise. Would you say the Nigerian government is being proactive in, in curbing this health condition, so to say?
Well, the Nigerian government, through the Federal Ministry of Health, is making all the efforts. And of course, in collaboration with partners like World Health Organization. But a lot of sensitization needs to be done because the awareness is so low. The immediate past president of the International Diabetes Federation, a Cameroonian, said that in Africa, when an African becomes affluent, that if it is possible for a car to take him to the toilet to ease himself, he will do it. We no longer move because we have become affluent. People are there to take our bag, to help us carry our leg, to help us carry our hand. We no longer have, engage in physical activity. So we are not burning what we are taking in. So we have such excess that settle as fat.
Okay, so on a final note now, I would like you to give some advice to parents out there. Talk to the adult folk on how to, prevent and, manage obesity.
Okay, for the adults.
Yes.
Very importantly, we need to be physically active. We need to burn whatever we take in so we don't have any imbalance settling as fat. We need to, if we have a place where there is a lift and there are steps, let's use the steps. Now, you find Nigerians climbing the lift to first floor. We take the lift to first floor. We take the lift to second floor. If you have an option of a lift and steps, please, let's climb the steps, burn some calorie and be physically active. Now, when we engage in exercise, there are many positive changes that occur to every system of the body. In fact, I make a statement to people when I give, talks on behavior change so that people can age gracefully. I say, when we exercise regularly, we are saying something to our heart. What are we saying? My heart, I want to train you, preserve you to see me to old age. When we don't exercise, what we are also saying is, my heart, any day you like, you can stop working. That's what we do. Because when we exercise, we are training the heart to work more efficiently with less effort. Therefore, thereby we are preserving it.
What about nutrition?
Now, when we exercise, we are preserving the muscles and losing the fat. For example, with aging, we lose muscle and we accumulate fat, which brings problems. But when we exercise, there is a hormone our body produces called testosterone. It helps build the muscle. So we build muscle and we lose fat. So we are able to maintain, our muscles. When we exercise, it helps us against immunity. Exercise prevents hypertension. Exercise prevents diabetes. So there are so many things that physical activity and exercise does to the body to keep us healthy that I want to encourage everyone to engage in one form of exercise or the other every day. Now, the next issue is diet. That is another big problem. Like I said, we are so much in love with these convenience foods that are so high in calorie. And also, for example, in Nigeria, there's, you know, we love drinks when they are put in very fashionable packs. We love them. We want to have them at home so that everybody will know we have these things. There are some drinks called energy drinks. These drinks are meant for people who really burn energy. For example, footballers, athletes. They contain like 2,000, 3,000 calories. You find an average Nigerian, we eat his normal breakfast, lunch and dinner, and we carry that thing and add on top. So this Nigerian takes like 5,000 calories in a day and is not burning any out. We need to reduce, you know, these artificial things that we love so much. Then these convenience foods in these eateries, even the food in eateries have become a big concern for me. Why? Because I look at them and I see the amount of oil they are all soaked in. Now, when we take 1 gram of carbohydrate, it gives us 4 calories. We take 1 gram of protein, it gives us 4 calories. But 1 gram of fat, oil, gives us 9 calories. So when we take oily foods, we are taking in so much calories that we don't need, that we can't burn out.
So it accumulates.
Then that accumulates as fat and then excess weight and obesity.
Thank you so much, Professor Anuma, for coming on Health Options. We look forward to having you on the program again.
Thank you very much.
Have you been having sleepless nights because you are overweight? Check out our offerings on how to prevent and deal with obesity the natural way as we take you to our nature's corner.
The Yoruba race as a whole have a lot of interesting things to say about pepper. If you're on different types of pepper, the Yorubas eat pepper a lot and they live long because of that. When these pepper are in various types, it has also the capacity to burn fat. Can be fat of anywhere in the body. That is for that. And then the almighty alligator pepper, which you are spoiling our herbal medicine because you believe people do incantation. Here they are not for incantation. God has already created them mightily, very, very powerful. Because it's hot, it can burn tissues quickly, alligator, even on its own. And when you mix it here, you have a lot of actions. But the technique of that mixing is what you cannot have now. This is sweet potatoes. It's another highly powerful, it has a lot of vitamin B6. One of the most critical vitamins in the world is vitamin B6, which is called pyridoxine. It's gotten out of this, either the white one or the red one. Then cyanocobalamin is vitamin B12. And then vitamin B9, folic acid, which you can get from Aleppo. If you combine this is capable of reducing death. I like to get my vitamin B12 either from the atmosphere. I prefer that of atmosphere. I get my vitamin B6 through the rainy water. It has the highest concentration of vitamin B12 in the world. And in that form, it is pure and natural. And recent survey shows that if you have enough of vitamin B6, B12 and B9, death is very far from you, because they found out that in most dead people, vitamin B12, B6 and B9 are very low. Then this one is a bush mango. I have leaves of bush mango. If you read in the UK, in America, bush mango is the love now of the world to reduce weight. It reduces weight very, very fast. That is from the fruit and the leaf of bush mango. Very good at weight reduction. It has no side effects. It's very good. Then here we have the ugu, which leaves, which you know, scent leaf and bitter leaf. This combination reduces the weight beyond human imagination, and it is also antibiotic.
time for us to take our health tips, which is still on obesity.
Obesity generally can be measured using the body mass index. The body mass index is the ratio of the weight of the person divided by the square root of the person's height in centimeters. I mean the square of the person's height in centimeters. What I mean, for example, if you weigh 80 kilograms or let's say 87 kilograms, and your height is 1.8 meters, you multiply that 1.8 meters by 1.8 meters, that's the square of the height in meters, and divide the weight by that. The normal body mass index is between 18.5 and 24.9. From 25 to 29.9 is regarded as overweight, and 30 and above is obesity. We recommend that people keep their body mass index around that 18.5 and 25.9 because overweight itself is also it's not an acceptable condition, and we advise that it should not be less than 18.5, otherwise that becomes underweight and it's also a form of malnutrition. All the food we eat have been classified into grains, roots and tubers as group 1, legumes and nuts as second group. The third group is vitamin A rich fruits and vegetables, those fruits and vegetables that are orange or red in color. And then number 4 is other fruits and vegetables. The fifth group are milk and dairy products, and then egg is a group of its own. And the seventh group is the fleshy foods, that's products coming from meat and seafoods and the likes. If a child's meal comes from at least 4 of those 7 food groups on a daily basis, the child's nourishment is adequate, and that primes the child for proper nourishment and obviously will prevent obesity. But by and large, the whole one way of really preventing obesity is to avoid excessive eating. And for everybody, the advice is to eat only when you are hungry and just eat enough to satisfy the hunger. Reduce high energy food, which means reduction in carbohydrates, reduction in your fat. In fact, generally it's low carbohydrate diet that is rich in fibers, high in fibers, will help you reduce the amount of energy you consume, because fibers will not be absorbed into the body, but they come out, they just help flush your system and almost come out as it is.
And this is where we wrap up this week's edition of Health Options. You can watch the upload of these and other episodes and email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. My name is Rabi Abdullah. Thanks for watching and keep healthy.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up